and today I'm going to detail the associations between the postbiotic butyrate and vitamin D, specifically the magnesium-dependent active form of vitamin D known as calcitriol. And while butyrate and vitamin D's numerous synergistic benefits begin in the gut, they also extend far beyond it. So first of all, postbiotics, like butyrate, are metabolic byproducts generated by gut bacteria as they digest the fiber we eat, and these byproducts then influence the host's biological functions. Probiotic supplements are extremely popular, but unfortunately, they're often far from reliable. And while I have detailed specific beneficial bacterial strains in earlier videos, I otherwise deliberately avoid discussing probiotic supplements on my channel because of their unreliability and the attendant deception that such commercial popularity unfortunately invites. In other words, I'm not a fan of supplemental probiotics at all. Vitamin D, as one of our primary fat-soluble vitamins that also includes A, E, and K, exerts countless beneficial effects throughout the body, and the microbiome is no exception. In the gut, vitamin D contributes to maintaining the integrity of the intestinal barrier, reducing inflammation, and supporting overall intestinal diversity, which includes enriching several strains of butyrate-producing bacteria, like Faecalibacterium and Coprococcus, while also binding to the abundant vitamin D receptors in immune cells, thus promoting a balanced immune response in the gut. Butyrate, for its part, greatly enhances vitamin D receptor activity, leading to significantly augmented vitamin D activity overall, which means less inflammation, and specifically, direct suppression of numerous inflammatory cytokines, like interleukin-6, interleukin-8, tumor necrosis factor alpha, and interleukin-1 beta. One commonality that vitamin D and butyrate share is that each are well known for stimulating the release of antimicrobial proteins called cathelicidins and defensins from white blood cells like neutrophils and macrophages. Cathelicidins and defensins are both part of the innate immune system, or the natural immunity we're born with, and they can rapidly disrupt the membranes of problematic fungus, bacteria, and viruses. To give you a practical example of when these combined immune benefits of vitamin D and butyrate can be helpful, let's take a look at a salmonella infection, which is often spread through undercooked food like poultry and eggs, or even common raw foods like lettuce and spinach. Salmonella is a bacteria that can cause colon inflammation and an array of ugly symptoms like diarrhea, fever, stomach cramps, nausea, and vomiting. And this is where the combined efforts of butyrate and vitamin D can be especially helpful because both can synergistically reduce the inflammation of a salmonella infection and also the passage of bacteria from the GI tract to the lymph nodes, spleen, and liver, something known specifically as bacterial translocation, while also, through vitamin D and butyrate's mutual stimulation of cathelicidins and defensins, disrupting the membrane of salmonella, ultimately driving the invading bacteria towards cell death. Beyond providing unparalleled intestinal immunity, vitamin D and butyrate also combat the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, known specifically as sarcopenia. And while regular exercise, particularly resistance training, is still the best and most direct way to halt the progressive degradation, vitamin D and butyrate provide a secondary support system that's very much needed, because the pharmaceutical industry still has no successful solutions for sarcopenia. Vitamin D fights sarcopenia by increasing the expression of the anabolic muscle regulator follistatin, which accordingly promotes muscle growth and development, primarily by inhibiting another protein, myostatin, which otherwise limits muscle growth. Butyrate also helps this process through promoting follistatin in its own right, while also inhibiting the age-related increased activity of a family of metabolic enzymes known as histone deacetylases, which otherwise promote sarcopenic hallmarks like sharply reduced cell migration and dramatically increased cell death. A great natural food source of both butyrate and vitamin D is grass-fed butter. And again, our gut bacteria produce butyrate as they digest the fiber we eat. You should be taking some supplemental vitamin D every day, and if you're already doing that, remember to pair your vitamin D with magnesium, as magnesium is required to convert vitamin D into its active form, while magnesium also indirectly supports butyrate production through the mineral's support of gut bacteria that produce another short-chain fatty acid, acetate, which butyrate-producing bacteria can then use to produce butyrate. And beyond butter and fiber, You can also increase butyrate production through regularly taking a B vitamin complex, as the specific B vitamins thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin all enhance intestinal butyrate. I've detailed this association between vitamin D and butyrate for you today because I've said for years that butyrate, with its countless benefits, deserves the same level of recognition and popularity that vitamin D already possesses. So I hope you consider using both regularly as part of your daily regimen. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.